I brought my mom to the Face Connect convention, or PhaseCon for short. PhaseCon is a VTuber convention, which is held in Burlingame, California, and I brought my mommy with me. I actually brought my mom to Offkai last year, which is probably not a good idea, so this isn't her first rodeo with VTubers. I brought a $40 camera with me to take some photos and videos while I attended. I didn't really vlog, and the camera quality is at best okay. To show the quality of the camera, here's a video I took at a party. Face Connect is a VTuber convention for Face Connect fans. There were no VTubers headlining events that weren't Face Connect, so exclusively Face Connect. There are VTuber merch being sold of other VTubers outside of Face Connect, but besides that, this was a Phase event. I'll be asking my mom how she feels about the event and what I did at the event. So what do you do at almost said off. What do you do at PhaseCon? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The main events at PhaseCon were concert and panels, and there were side events where Phase members would appear on screen. The Atrium, which is a fan favorite, is where most of the side events happen, and there were Phase related things to check out, like for example, coffee and the crane game machines. On the bottom floor underneath the Atrium were the event rooms, and to the side of the convention were the merch halls. I don't have that much footage of the event area, and also I did not take any videos or photos of the merch halls, so I can't really help visualize it. It's a great venue, amazing to look at and to stay at for the hotel. The merch area was a different story, but in general it's great. How does probably being the only mom at PhaseCon feel?
It doesn't feel weird at first, and then this last con I just noticed it was more men, and maybe I was like the oldest woman.
Do you care for VTubers at all?
Not really. I just go because you like them.
Oh, you don't really care for Face Connect?
Nah, I just enjoy them.
No, not really.
Not really. Just enjoy watching and the environment.
Okay, this makes the next question a little weird. Who's your favorite VTuber?
Oh, I don't have one.
I could show you images.
Okay, I think I like Eureka.
You like Urika?
Eureka.
You just like her because I like her?
Yep.
I remember you used to call her the blue one. I want to ask you a few questions by showing you images.
Face Connect?
Yeah, that's the company logo.
Pippa.
Okay, that's Piffa. You know Piffa. She's probably the most popular. Wait, she is the most popular.
Oh, yeah.
Of Face Connect.
It's Eureka.
Okay, do you know who this is?
No.
That's Leah. Okay, do you know who this is?
No.
They were the person on the North Korea flag in the hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
And I saw someone dressed as her.
Oh, you did? I didn't.
Oh, her crown broke.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. No.
That's the Dizzler.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mentioned her one time. Fishman?
Okay, that's actually his nickname. His name's Sakuna.
Oh.
You actually see him walk by. It was like the Asian guy.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the made Asian guy? Cardboard cutout?
Yeah.
That was him.
Oh.
Like, he owns the company.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Was he there?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the one that signed my thing. What was your favorite part of the convention?
I like where it was held, because it's like my favorite hotel because of the atrium. At first it was weird to me, but now I kind of get it now that I've been to a few, like Offkai and now PhaseCon. Not so weird anymore.
I remember you said at the convention that all of the VTubers sound the same. Do they sound the same to you?
Yeah, they do. I can't tell them apart. They all have this like high-pitched girly voice. I just can't tell the difference. But yeah, they sound all the same to me.
Would you go to the next PhaseCon?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Maybe the first day and then yeah.
Just the first day?
Yeah, just the first day maybe. Because it's usually the first day is exciting. You see everything first time, and then the second, third day, I'm like, okay, I saw that already.
Would you recommend parents going with their child?
Yes.
You would? What the?
Well,
I wouldn't.
yes, it's fun to see your child have fun.
Okay, that I wouldn't know. I don't have a child. The convention was 2 days long. I ended up being there the day before and stayed at the venue, which made it feel like a 3-day con, even though it was only 2 days. The day before was when the convention staff were setting up the atrium stuff for the con. I overheard they were understaffed. I don't work at Phase, so I don't know if they were actually understaffed. I at least saw people working at night on the day before. I think I saw Sakana walk around at like 1 a.m. and I was like, damn, the con starts in 7 hours and he's probably still working. Is he gonna get sleep? I actually got Sakana's signature, which was awesome. Out of all the Phase Connect girls, I ended up getting a dude signature. As a Phase fan, I was scared as hell to ask Sakana, but I'm glad he was kind enough to sign for me. The day before the con, I was hanging out with friends from Offkai. It's pretty funny that it's Phase's first con, but the con attendees already know each other from Offkai. So as an attendee, I was like, this feels like a convention I've already been to. Also, the venue used to be Offkai's location, so I already knew the place. My favorite part of the VTuber convention is that it feels like everyone knows each other. This is why I like VTuber conventions over anime conventions. Like with PhaseCon, I don't even remember people's names, and we are having dinner together. People invited me to their friend groups, and they hang out with them, even if I'm only mutuals with them. It's so easy to talk to everyone since we all share a common interest. For example, I've had long conversations with strangers talking about Fujikura Urika. I actually walked into a room with my friends, and we knew nobody there, and the whole room started talking with each other because someone said one thing that caught everyone's interest, and like a sleeper agent, we all had to chime in on the conversation. So yeah, at the con, I ended up leaving a room fist bumping strangers that I don't even know the names of. It's an amazing convention. We barely know each other, but we said to each other, I'll see you next con. Guy I don't know the name of. There were people there that weren't attending PhaseCon there, because it's a regular hotel. So I would run into normal people. Like, for example, I'd explain what PhaseCon was to someone that doesn't know what a VTuber is. I was scared for my life explaining PhaseCon. Like, yeah, you can buy art, and by art, I mean naked anime girls. You can buy porn here. Yeah. Since PhaseCon is by an airport, I ended up walking past a bunch of Japanese flight attendants that were staying at the venue. There was a North Korea Mari Mari EN flag in someone's window, so I was like, I think the Japanese thinks us Americans are weird. Day one for a lot of people was either concert day or merch line day. I didn't take any photos of the Phase booth or the merch hall, so the merch situation, which is the one thing everyone knew about, basically. So the merch area, there's a hallway that leads to 2 rooms you could enter. On the left is the Phase warehouse, or the right, which is the merch hall. The official Phase Connect merch is sold to the right in the merch hall, and that line was, saying that line was long would be an understatement. I had a friend that stayed in the line for 7 hours. They were in the Phase Connect merch booth line. Just the merch booth line, not other merch. Just the Phase Connect merch booth line. They were in the line for 7 hours. The line was so long, it exits the merch hall, goes down the hallway, goes up the stairs, exits the building, and wraps around the building. I only knew this because I ran into my friend in the merch area and they were in line and they were like, yeah, I've been here for 7 hours. I personally didn't even bother trying to get official merch, which I was kind of bummed about, but I didn't want to get my hopes up and end up waiting hours. But for me, I didn't have any negative experiences with the line. When they first opened the merch area on the first day, it immediately went out of the building, and I just didn't even bother getting in line. I overheard someone say they were standing next to a dumpster in line, and my friend was like, me too, I was by the dumpster too. They weren't mad about it, they found it funny instead. I was like, imagine flying to another country for vacation, and you are standing next to a dumpster for fun. That is actually kind of funny. To me, at least. I wasn't in line. I know some people were probably upset with the line situation, but I wasn't, so it's pretty funny. I actually ended up not buying anything from the Phase booth on any of the days because I didn't want to wait. For a lot of people, day one was either waiting in line or going to the Phase Connect concerts and panels. When I did meet my friend that waited in line for 7 hours that night, they were like, I went to the opening ceremony in the morning and got in line for 7 hours, and I missed every event today. They weren't mad, but it is pretty crazy that all they did during the cons was wait in a single line. This isn't to bash PhaseCon for the merch line. I didn't have a bad experience, but the stories of the line were funny to me, and I have a lot of them. One story was I was talking to one of the staff members who was managing the Phase merch line. The line had gotten so long that they were worried it would run past convention hours, so they had to stop letting people join the line. The problem was nobody knew if the line was permanently closed or just temporarily paused. The staff member kept having to tell people, I don't know yet. So people started forming a second line next to the actual line while they waited to find out if they could join the first line. Eventually, the second line got pretty long, and the staff member had to go down the line and telling everyone that the original line was done for the day and nobody else could join. While the staff member was doing that, one person in the second line said, I don't even know what this line is for. The staff member looked at me and said, I think people just like forming lines. Some of them didn't even know what they were waiting for. The line situation was very confusing, but it was also kind of funny. While I was in the merch hall, I ended up learning how to play the card game Oshi Push, which is the card game with Face Connect members on the cards. It's pretty easy to learn, and it's fun. The person that taught me actually just learned the day before how to play, which is really funny. At the booth, they had displays of signed cards that had the signatures of Phase members on them. Apparently, Urka sneezed on a card that she signed, and they were using that as a reason to tempt me to buy packs to potentially get that card. What else was at the merch hall? There's a lot of almost naked VTuber merch in the merch halls. When I saw that, I said really loud to my friend, "Are you buying porn?" Walking in there with my mom was like, "Damn, bro, I would rather not be looking at that right now." I spent most of the day one just hanging out with friends. We ended up just hanging out at the atrium after the con was done, and people were drinking alcohol. I had a drink on day one. A friend from Akai that I hadn't seen yet at PhaseCon was in the corner of my eye and handed me a Japanese beer. Didn't say a word to me, just handed me a beer in the atrium and just walked away. I was like, we could just drink alcohol at the con, and they just shook their head. They said absolutely nothing to me. There were parties at the convention you could go to. One was the Pippa-themed Kapipi party, which was a Mexican-themed Pippa party. I was in there for 10 minutes before I was sweating. I wanted to get out. A lot of people like to say with the party rooms, ew, it must smell in there. The actual concern is the heat you feel because you feel like you are dying. In the Phase warehouse, there was a game where you pack orders as fast as you can, and the winning team would get a prize. I think the prize was just a mystery box. But I'm not sure, I didn't play. If you cleaned up after, regardless if you won or not, I believe you got a mystery box maybe? I don't know. You got something. The game was actually just packing boxes. Everyone called it free labor. When I saw it, I was just like, that's what I used to do for a job. And they're doing it at a convention. In the warehouse, you can buy mystery boxes filled with official Phase merch for $25. I think it had con exclusive merch in the past in them. I remember seeing the racing merch from Offkai last year being in the boxes, so I think you could have gotten exclusive merch. They look like pizza boxes. At first, I thought people were buying Phase pizza. I was like, I want a Phase pizza. But nah, this is a mystery box. Oh, I did get official Phase merch, but it's from the Crane games. I didn't pay for the Crane games. you got, I believe, 4 attempts for free with with the coin they gave you. But yeah, I didn't pay for the merch. The only merch I paid for was for someone else. I ended up getting a bunch of Uruka merch, which I really liked. I have 2 stories that I think were the funniest that I had at PhaseCon. One of them was I was at PhaseCon and I received a job offer from someone. They said, I can get you a job. No screening or resume was needed. They were just like, yeah, I could get you on board if you want. I was like, I'm here for vacation. Why am I getting a job opportunity right now? I ended up seeing the little robots that the VTubers were going around on the con. That was pretty fun. I saw Uruka and Pippa going around. During day 1, people were up all night. Like, I saw people at 3 a.m. at the atrium still hanging out. Day 2, the line situation was resolved. The only thing I know of the line is they ended up stopping the line before I went out the door at some point. I ended up cramping my leg in my sleep. Like, I could feel my calf split into 2, and that got me squirming in bed. I was basically limping the first few hours, so I didn't get to the con until like lunch, and I was limping, walking around. I could hear Leah from my hotel room as I limped around to get ready. Yeah, during day 2, at some point, my friend went to the bathroom, and when they came out, they were like, this dude didn't wash his hands and he left. But that was really funny, also really disgusting. The funniest story from PhaseCon that I ended up having was I was hanging out with a VTuber without knowing it. This VTuber, not Phase Connect related, attended PhaseCon. I can't say the name for privacy reasons. They were there as an attendee. I saw them and I hung out with them since we shared the same friend group. And I saw them like 3 different times at PhaseCon before my friend said, let's go see. And then they said the VTuber name. I asked, who are we seeing? And they were like, this VTuber is right there. And we walked up to them. I was looking around for a good 10 minutes. I was like, who the hell is this VTuber they were talking about? Once I realized who might be the VTuber, I tried to whisper, hey, is that the VTuber? Everyone laughed at me. Everyone knew that this person is a VTuber except me. Like, it wasn't a secret or anything to everyone in the group. It's just that everyone knew except me, so no one told me. One of my friends was laughing way too hard. They were like, you've seen them for 2 years and didn't know? It wasn't that funny. Okay, maybe it is actually funny. In my defense, I didn't think the VTuber on my screen was going to be standing next to me in real life. This VTuber, I was at their meet and greet at Offkai, so you don't expect the person you're meeting at a meet and greet to be standing next to you. That was pretty funny and also embarrassing. I got a hug from this VTuber, so I was like, call me a loser for attending a VTuber con. All you want. I got to feel the touch of a woman. I am the winner here. For a lot of Phase fans, seeing the start of Phase Connect and now seeing them on stage at their own convention was very emotional. Phase Connect is actually the one VTubing company to make it out the hood. For me, it's a place to hang out with my friends that I only see a few times a year. Friends from all over the world. Wait, actually most of them are just US or Canada. But all over the world, Phase Connect is amazing. Or PhaseCon is amazing. I didn't really vlog, so I couldn't really show how cool it was. I think PhaseCon is the best convention I've been to. I had the most fun. I would do it again. When I say it's the most fun, it's because I'm able to talk to friends I would never see in my day-to-day life. Without PhaseCon, I would probably only see these friends once a year at Offkai, but now I get to see them twice a year. One at Offkai and one at PhaseCon. So I do want to say thank you to Phase Connect for hosting PhaseCon. It gave me another opportunity to meet people that I wouldn't be able to meet otherwise. And going to PhaseCon going to PhaseCon was one of the highlights of this year for me. I hope there's a PhaseCon too. I would love going. I would love to go to PhaseCon. Probably. I would probably love that. Would I actually love that? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I don't know if this thing has a microphone, but hopefully it does.